Hello traders. Now in this fine video you will see just how good or not good, depending on your subjective interpretation, is copper. Here is one slight misfortune, is that we could see copper market only from 1989, so you wouldn't see great historical markets in copper in 70s, but still we would see that copper moved from $0.8 to nearly doubled in the late 80s, as continued with other trends in those years, and moved in relatively good range, which gave you good profit opportunities, like from nearly $1 to $1.4 for extended period of time. This is good money for traders for that time, and this pattern continued till 91, when the range narrowed down, but still in 92 there was good downtrend to $0.7, and then it rose nearly double the price, till 1.4, and then fell back again. So these were not the worst market to trade if you know how to use leverage and risk management, because in absolute terms these are high moves, because this is double. It might seem, these numbers might look small, but you have to understand that each future contracts are made differently and they have leverage, so these prices are quite good, and you have to understand how logarithmic percentages work if you want to know something about trading. And hopefully someday I will upload video that will explain that. I'm probably saying this many times in these videos, but I will do that, yes. Nevertheless, let's continue. We are in late 90s and copper cost $1.2, and then it fell to 0.6, so 50% decline, not that bad. And from 99 it reverted to 0.9, then reverted to 0.6. I think for short-term traders these were alright moves, but then extended range until 2003, which followed for five-fold rise in next couple of years. So great bull market of 2000s made its name, and then returns fell to 2.4. Excuse me, prices, not returns. Returns were good if you traded downtrends. And then that steep volatility prevailed up until, I would say, several years, because here the prices moved for around $0.4. Now they are moving for a couple of dollars. So of course volatility increased, this position size decreased, but anyway, opportunities were there. So where did we left? For the $2.5 here to 3.7 here, then back to $3, back to up to $4, and then reverted to $1.2. So rather spectacular moves until depths of financial crisis of 2008, when the markets fell to their bottom and then rise 4 times in next couple of years. So good trends, and those good trends continued for $4.5 to $3 to 3.9 again, and then fell to $2. So if you see in depth these moves, short-term traders had plenty of opportunities to do. Then it kind of moved in sideways for extended periods of time, so I wouldn't be sure that these moves are that easily to capitalize on that. And years after until 2020 didn't made that good trends, so markets stayed in those narrow ranges, and even short-term traders were a little bored here. But still, when COVID aftermath started, it nearly made 2.5-fold increase in subsequent periods of time, and then now it fell to their lowest levels in a couple of years and made one good downtrend. Here is one interesting note. People are perceiving copper as key material for construction, thus that's some sort of forecast for economic recession or something like that. At least pundits on the markets are saying that. I'm not necessarily believing it's true, but you know, there is some element in truth in that, and that could tell something about next few months, but I don't know. Okay, let's look at the copper markets for purely trend following perspective and see that we have a couple of trends on 2016 on the short side, which are followed by one decent downtrend, which were quite long and stable. Then 2019, those were not the best years, so couple of small downtrends here and one spectacular uptrend, and the aftermath of COVID, which actually was immediately followed by the downtrend in 22. So here we are seeing now that also war in Ukraine didn't give much of the difference to copper markets, which might be surprising, at least for me subjectively. And with that said, let's see those nasty flat markets after 2020. So let's start with that good trend in 2020. How does that look for traders? It looked good. So in 2020 you could start to short in January and made money on all those COVID panics. Then aftermath, one was good trend, then something in September, and relatively good trend from November and February, which were followed by a couple of corrections, and then other good trend in May 21. So pretty good string of uptrends, right? Followed with some relatively boring time period where you could be break even at the best, because these were not good markets, especially these markets. They are flat. There's nothing to do here from late 21 up until March 22. Then only gradually from April you could get good short trends, but those short trends were relatively good. So thing about copper is that it might be also, it's not neglected market because it's used by the industry, but it might be neglected by average traders. But you have seen that historically this also is a market which is interesting and you shouldn't ignore it. This might not be prioritized market similar as with agriculture, but it certainly shouldn't be neglected. So if you like this, of course, you have to wait for my next videos where I'll be covering other metal markets as well. So stay tuned.